Hello, my name is Huarda. I'm a speech and language therapist in the neurodevelopmental service at the Retreat York for children and young people. Today I'd like to talk to you about some of my favourite books in the context of Pride Month. So I'll start with this little book called Mummy, Mama and Me by Leslie Newman, illustrated by Carol Thompson. It's a book that follows a two-mum family in their everyday life with their child. Just very simple activities that a lot of young children will relate to. The next book is called And Tango Makes Three. It's based on a true story, really lovely true story about a couple of male penguins at the zoo in New York who fall in love and are given an egg by the zookeeper to take care of, and when the egg hatches they call it Tango, and Tango makes three. So it's a family of two daddies and one baby penguin. The next book is not a story, it's called The Great Big Book of Families. It's written by Mary Hoffman and illustrated by Roz Asquith. It's a great book for talking about all sorts of different activities, all sorts of preferences, religions, ways that where people live. But what I like about this book is that they've really made sure to be inclusive and diverse as much as possible. So it's a great basis for talking about activities, families, also building vocabulary. As you can see here, there are different objects that are related to the activities that they're talking about. So lots of things that you can do with this book. Two of my favourite books in terms of illustrations are Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love and Julian at the Wedding. And these two books are celebrations of love and celebrations of being yourself. So Julian is a little boy who enjoys pretending that he's a mermaid, and so we follow him with his grandmother, and he dresses up as a mermaid and goes out to a carnival. In Julian at the Wedding, it's about a wedding that Julian attends with his friend, and they go and play and become fairies. I'll just show you the fairy picture. There we go. And so it's a wedding that they attend here. Beautiful pictures. Another book that I was really pleased to find was this one. It's called Your Whole Body, and From Your Head to Your Toes and Everything in Between. It's written by Lizzie de Jong-Charbonneau and illustrated by Misha Iver. What I like about this book is that, again, it's an inclusive book that shows all sorts of different bodies. It also talks about body parts in very neutral ways, and just goes through exactly what they say, from your head to your toes and everything in between, in a very child-friendly and appropriate way, but without shying away from talking about private parts, for example, and building vocabulary around body parts, which is so important for children to feel comfortable in their bodies and also be able to communicate with us around their bodies and what's happening in their bodies. So lots of different lovely illustrations in there as well. Then I have a few books that are more around how families can be made. So this is a book called Robo Babies by Laura Gallagher and illustrated by Nikki Martin. And this book is great for explaining things like IVF, donor conception, adoption, so all sorts of different types of families, and how they can be made and how they're all built on love. Then we have some more specific books related to donor conception and two mum families. And the Donor Conception Network has all sorts of books that are related to specific types of families. So I think they have also books for donor egg conception, donor sperm conception, all sorts of different configurations. So those are some of my favourite books in the context of Pride Month, and I'd like to share with you some of my tips for sharing books with your children. I guess my first one is to follow your child's lead, and that would be just a general tip for playing with them as well, but for reading books as well. And if they don't show interest in the book that you're interested in at that time, that's okay. So just leave it out for them, leave out different books for them to get familiar with seeing it, and you never know, they might pick it up one day and have a look and bring it to you, or if they want to, for example, if you've already started reading the book and they only want to read one page over and over again, that's fine too. They're getting acquainted with your book, and with and the repetition is probably helping them to process that book. Don't get discouraged if your child doesn't pay attention to the whole story. We all pay attention in different ways, and every child develops their attention in different ways too. So they may just need shorter sessions with less pressure, and that's fine as well. You don't have to read all of the words in a story, although you can if you want to, and you don't even have to finish a book, as I said earlier. Repetition and predictability can be reassuring and can support your child in processing the different aspects of the shared reading experience. Another top tip would be to wait. Wait. So when you read a book, you can open the book, say, "Mummy picks me up," and then you can just wait and see how your child reacts, how your child responds. Some children need a little bit more time to respond, and they may need a little bit more time to process what's going on in the picture and for them to comment on it. If they don't comment on it, that's fine as well, but let them have the time to do so. Try to avoid asking too many probing questions, such as "what's this, what's this?" So I think one of the things that we often do is we'll say, so mummy gently combs my hair, and then we say, "What's this? What's this? What's she doing?" Rather than just sharing the experience with the child and providing the model of saying, "Oh, I can see bear. I can see the child is brushing the bear," for example. And then, depending on your child's level of understanding and interest, you could act out parts of the book using toys, or even dress up as the characters to help your child integrate their understanding of the story. So, for example, in this one, you could have little figurines that you pretend are the two daddies in the story, and they have their egg. So those are some of my top tips mainly for younger children, but also for children who are just learning to develop their attention as well. I hope they were helpful, and I look forward to seeing some of you soon.